Hi everybody, welcome. Happy Sunday. Thanks so much for joining me. Pre-recorded class today. Life just keeps getting in the way of Sunday evenings. So for those of you who are joining me today, I'm sending out a newsletter very shortly with some survey links so that we can make class times that work for everybody moving forward. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to begin seated today. So make your way into a comfortable seat. Double check that your sits bones are grounded and that your spine is nice and tall. If you have a watch that keeps track of your daily activities, now is the time to begin that activity. So for today's practice, we're going to recreate a safe space on our mats, a safety net on our yoga mat, where whatever we feel, whatever we experience, however we move, is without any judgment from ourselves, from others. And the goal here is creating not just safety, but a place for acceptance. This last week, as we begin to return even more to normal, I've witnessed a couple of exchanges between work colleagues that made me pause and realize that some of the lessons that we learned during COVID are being pushed aside. And one of those lessons was to recognize that being in a stressful environment, we shove our emotions down and behave in a way that's socially acceptable at the time. And I'm not saying we should get rid of rules because we need them in our society, but it was just something that I witnessed and it kind of bothered me a little bit. So as I was going through my own personal practice this week, this came up for me quite a lot. And I recognized that in my yoga and meditation practice, this was a safe space. This mat is a safety net. And I can feel whatever I feel, and I can think and experience that without judgment. So my hope with today's practice is to create that same experience for you on the mat. So we're going to start with a little guided imagery. And I want you to imagine your yoga mat that's literally underneath you, that you're sitting on, as this place where, similar feeling to when you were a kid and you were injured and your mom would hug you, and she would kiss away your boo-boo and you would feel better. Maybe you experienced that as a parent, or as an aunt, or as a dad, whatever, as a grandparent. That same sort of giving feeling where I wish I could take this pain away, but I am your safe haven. So our yoga mat really wants us to come back to it. Our yoga mat wants us to feel comforted and safe without judgment, so that the feels that we experience aren't crushed down. And what happens is often our body has memories. There's an entire book called Our Body Has Memories. And we physically hold on to tension, tightness, stress, fatigue, anxiety, regrets in our body. And the movement and the practice of yoga can often start to release that stuff that we squish down. So as it comes up in our practice, we can explore it without judgment, without fear of retribution. Now, if your yoga practice is simply a physical one, that's okay too. You just move with your breath on your mat. If your yoga practice is one where emotions do come up from time to time, we just want to ensure that the space of your mat is one of safety. So let's begin our practice with our breath. Place one hand on our chest, one hand on our belly, and as we inhale, feel the expansiveness of breath. And as we exhale, feel everything draw toward the center. Inhale, our chest expands up, our belly expands out. And as we exhale, everything draws back toward the midline. So, as we inhale, start to feel a place of openness, of expansiveness, of space for you to feel whatever you're feeling. And as you exhale, maybe release what no longer stirs you. Same thing, hands to ribs. So as we inhale, our ribs expand outward. And as we exhale, everything draws toward midline. Inhale, expanding out, creating space. And as we exhale, everything draws toward midline. And we start to release. Inhale, expansive. And exhale, releasing. Letting the hands rest on top of the knees. See if you can feel the torso expand out like a barrel. On that exhalation, we start to release. We start to let go just a little bit. Letting go, releasing, maybe even creating more space. Part of this practice is creating safety and then giving ourselves permission to witness and to feel. So maybe right now, you even notice what you might be feeling. And not feeling in terms of physical touch, but feeling in terms of what are you emoting, what are your emotions. With our eyes closed and with our awareness on breath, we start to bring ourselves into a place of emotional awareness. And rather than push that feeling aside, whether it's sadness or happiness, fear or excitement, we just allow the emotion to come up. Maybe there's lots of emotions coming up, and we want to sometimes focus on the ones that we label as good and forget about or push away the ones that we label as bad. So rather than even labeling them, staying out of self-judgment, we just feel what we're feeling. We experience the emotion for what it is. And when our bodies are ready, as we exhale, we let it go. Maybe that emotion stays with us for a millisecond. Maybe that emotion stays with us for the entire yogic hour. We're not analyzing why. We're not analyzing how. We're simply staying present, witnessing our emotions, and experiencing them. So allow the eyes to flutter open. Bring the hands to heart center and setting an intention of safety, of awareness. Place the hands back down on our knees and start to draw the body in some circles, just almost like this is the most beautiful movement you've ever had in your life. Letting the hips start to warm slightly, letting the spine, belly. And then when you're ready, come back to center and move in the other direction. Again, just feeling. No judgment. So awareness of body, movement of body is a great starting point as we start to move into awareness of emotions. Come back to center, walk the fingertips out in front and gently rock the body side to side. Breathing, inhaling, creating space. Exhale, releasing if you're ready to. Coming back to center, walk the hands in, switch the leg that's in front or on top. And once again, we'll start to draw circles with the body. Now these circles might be smaller, they might be larger. Come to center, move in the other direction. And then when you're ready, find neutral, walk arms out in front. Same thing, gently rock side to side. As we move into this place of witnessing, of experiencing, and without trying to problem solve or decide or explain. Back to center, walk hands in. Find yourself returning to that initial seat, and we'll stay here just for a couple of breaths. Feeling the expansiveness on the inhale and the contraction or release on the exhale. Allow the eyes to come back to open if you close them. We're going to shift around to all fours, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Finding a cat-cow, inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat. So as I mentioned before, there's an entire book about how our body has memories and stores emotions. Those stored emotions can present themselves at odd times. But times of movement are great ways of exploration and release. In times of stillness, they can come up, but they can come up out of nowhere. So as we move our bodies, start to think, not to think, but just start to notice, start to feel whatever you're feeling, both physically. So maybe I feel my back releasing, I feel my chest opening. And maybe I notice an emotion arise. So maybe if that even emotion could be that feels nice. Or I think that feels tight. I'm not labeling or judging, I'm just feeling and associating emotions. Come back to neutral, let's slide the left knee back a few inches. Inhale, take the right arm to sky. As I exhale, rolling down onto the right shoulder. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, rotating down. One more time, inhale, lifting arm. And then as I exhale, I'll roll down onto that, lift the arm, stay here. And then we're going to start to draw just a few small circles with the right arm reaching to the sky. Now as I draw those circles, my shoulder joint, lots of tension and tightness. So maybe I'm protecting movement. Maybe I'm feeling something. Come back to center, inhale, reach up, exhale, roll down now onto that right shoulder. Take left arm to sky. And once again, maybe just drawing some small circles to start with. Maybe the circles grow larger. Release down. Return to all fours. This time we're going to shimmy the hips side to side. Releasing the outer hip, releasing into the side body. Coming back to center. I'll slide my right knee back a few inches. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, roll onto left shoulder. Inhale, left arm to sky. And exhale, rolling down. One more time, we'll keep that left arm skyward this time. And planting, pressing through the right hand, start to draw circles with the left. Now you might notice that one side has more tightness, maybe more protection. The other maybe has more opening. Come to center, inhale, and then exhale, roll onto left shoulder. Right arm reaches up, just drawing a few circles. Release right hand down, left hand to meet right. Bringing the knees together and then sitting back on heels. Walking hands to left side of mat, drop hips to right. And that side angle, extended child's pose, but to an angle. Breathe into that right side rib. Switch sides, walk hands to right, drop hips to left. Back to center. Roll forward just a little bit and then tuck the toes. Sitting back into a toe, child's pose. From here, inhale, draw up to kneeling plank. Straight leg from shoulder to hip. Toes stay tucked. Exhale back into this extended child's pose. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, sink back. Now the next time we rise up, stay there. Inhale, right leg lifts, and then drop. Exhale, left leg lifts. So we're just lifting one knee off the mat, pressing that heel back and the hamstring to the sky. Starting to wake up our core a little bit. Not challenge our core, just hello, good morning, or maybe good evening. Good, lifting both legs up, and then bend the knees a little as we press our hips back to puppy. So puppy pose. Inhale to plank. Exhale back to puppy. Now if it felt better to stay in child's pose to kneeling plank, choose that option. One more time, puppy, plank. And then this time we all find puppy pose, reach the tail to sky, and then pedal heels down. Lengthening the back of the leg, pressing the heel, releasing the calves and the hamstrings, maybe the Achilles. So in Ayurvedic medicine, in Ayurveda, our bodies hold and store different emotions in different parts of the body. So for example, regret is in our hips. I think fear is in our shoulders, but I might have messed that up. So as you release, you just might notice maybe a flood of experiences or emotions coming to the surface, and that's okay. Bend the knees, reach the tail high, keep the tippy toes. As we lift through the tail, shake the head no, shake the head yes. Releasing the heels down, finding your first down dog of class, maybe of the day. Rolling forward, bring the knees as wide as the outer edges of the mat. Big toes together as we sink down and just start to rock the body from side to side, releasing the inner thighs and through the hips. Breathe, inhale, create space. Exhale, release. Coming to center. Inhale, chin and chest to mat. Exhale, forehead to mat. As we move this kneecap calf, we're focusing on the thoracic and cervical spine. So the cervical spine has lots of movement, that's our neck. But our thoracic spine is fairly tight and holds a lot of tension. So breathe into this space, breathe into the neck and shoulders, and the upper mid-back.
And the next time you inhale, chin and chest down. Stay there. Create that space. Walk the fingertips a little further forward, dropping elbows, palms together, fingertips to sky. Notice and witness your emotions without judgment. Hands come down, knees come together. Tucking our toes, walking back into a toe stretch. Roll shoulders up, back, and down. Exhale, walk forward into kneeling plank. Exhale, back into toe stretch. Inhale, forward into kneeling plank. One more time. Exhale, back into toe stretch. And then lift up to toe balance, hands to heart center. Yogis have a choice. You can make your way up to standing normally, or if you're feeling ready, press yourself up to standing. Palms forward, finding our mountain pose, Tadasana. Let's give ourselves an opportunity for a smile here. Imagine the sun shining on your face. Imagine a gentle breeze blowing through your hair. And then let go of that place we just created. Give yourself safety on this mat to feel whatever you're feeling. Allowing that sense of vulnerability. Inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky. As we exhale, we'll tip it hip, hinging forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift to monkey. Exhale, releasing down. We're going to step that left leg back, big step with the left foot. Inhale, hips start to rise up. Now we don't straighten that front leg all the way. And our back can round. As we exhale, sink the hips down, draw the heart forward. Inhale, hips rise up. Exhale, sink down, heart forward. Inhale, lift hips up. And then exhale, sink down, release down to your left knee. This time, exhale back, rocking back. Inhale, rocking forward. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, forward. One more time. Now this time as you rock forward, stay here. Walk the hands up the left thigh. Leave the hips open. Lift the heart to sky. Take a cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with a big ha. And then on the next inhale, fingertips lift to sky. Anjayasana, low lunge. Hands release to the inside of the right foot. Right knee hinges out to the side. And we'll start to just shimmy the hips side to side. Hands plant under shoulders as we bend the elbows, coming toward our dragon pose. Heart reaches forward. Good, rising up, framing right foot, tuck left toe under. Finding our long, low lunge. You can stay here. If you feel ready, inhale, rise up. And then release, hands down, framing right foot. We'll step together, returning to Uttanasana. Inhale, rising up to mountain. Exhale, hinge forward, tip it hip. Inhale, half lift to monkey. Exhale, right leg back, big step. So this is your opposite side, framing our left foot as we inhale, hips up. Exhale, hips sink down, the heart reaches forward. So inhale, hips rise to sky, go ahead and round the back. Inhale. And then one more time, exhale. Inhale, sinking hips down. And then release down to right knee and curl the toes. Exhale, rocking back. Inhale, rocking forward.
Moving with breath.
The next time you rock forward, let the heart rise up.
Walk the hands up the left thigh. Now your right hip might want to hop you back up. Don't let it stay where you need to stay. Breathing here. Let's take a cleansing breath. Next, inhale, fingertips to sky. Release hands down to the inside of left foot. Left knee hinges out. Gently shimmy hips side to side. Remember that breath. Inhaling, creating space. Exhale, letting go. Now when we're ready, bend those elbows as we exhale. Heart reaches forward, crown of head long. Holding dragon pose, but not holding the breath. Good, inhale, pressing back up, frame the left foot. Right toe tucks under. You can stay here or inhale, rise up. Anjayasana. Framing left foot, walking hands down to the long edge of the mat. Outer edges of feet move to parallel. Pause here. And then as we exhale, start to hinge forward just a little bit. Let the body dangle down. Shake the head, yes, shake the head, no. Bend the knees. A few times, maybe shift the weight from side to side. And then press the feet firmly into the mat. If you could press 0% effort and 100% effort, find about 50% effort. So the feet are pressing and the tail is lifting. The head is dangling down. You can rest the hands, the elbows, or whatever on a block or mat. And the holding is wide forward fold, but we're not holding our breath. So physically, as we inhale, we are creating length, which is spacious. As we exhale, we're saving that space as we let go of something. Maybe we're just letting go of 1% of something. Maybe we're letting go a little bit bigger. Place the hand underneath the face, lift up to a flat back. Fingertips tent on the mat. Reach the heart long, chin tucks slightly. And then walk our hands over to the left foot, step back to down dog. Pedaling the heels and down dog. Inhale, finding plank, straight line from shoulder to heel. Down to our knees, elbows hug ribs as we lower through our chaturanga, and then inhale, come back up to kneeling plank. So just baby chaturanga, elbow creases where our chest stops. Inhale, rise up. One more time, exhale, lower down. Now this time we're gonna scoot forward, like we're going underneath a fence. Drawing through the heart, reaching through the back of the head, chin tucks slightly. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up, baby cobra. Exhale, release. One more time, rising into our baby cobra. And then press back into child's pose. Forehead rests on the mat, arms drape next to the body. So for a moment, this yoga mat is a magical cocoon of safety. It's a hug of a mother. It's that place without judgment where you can be 100% yourself. Where your emotions don't have to follow social norms or expectations. Allow that safe space and that safe place to remain as we extend the arms out in front of us, tuck the toes, hips up and back, returning to down dog. From our down dog, let's gaze up to the hands, and we'll take the right foot up to the hands and swivel the left heel down. Windmilling the arms up and open to warrior two. Inhale, straighten leg.
Exhale, bend knee to deepen. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend knee. One more time, lengthen. And then bend knee, stay in your warrior two, gaze past those right fingertips. Inner thigh is staying open. Noticing from hips down is an anchor, from hips up is tall. Feeling the body and witnessing emotions. Starting to straighten that right leg, reach your fingertips forward. Right hand down, left arm to sky. Utthita Trikonasana. Left arm reaches forward. And then left arm reaches up, back, and behind to the outer right hip, opening through the front of the left shoulder. Bend that right knee, windmill the arms back up, reaching the right fingertips forward, forearm to thigh. Swivel or scissor or rainbow, left arm up and over. There's lots of ways to get your left arm forward. Some are different than others. Play with it even. See what feels better. Extended side angle. And then release hands down to right foot. We'll step back to down dog. Inhale, finding our plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. Or if you're feeling ready, up dog. Exhaling back into down dog. From down dog, we'll take the left foot up to the hands. Swivel right foot down. Up to warrior two on the second side. Take a moment. Open through the inner thigh. Reach your fingertips out. Inhale, straighten left leg. Exhale, bend left knee and deepen. Moving with breath. The next time you find warrior two, stay here. Feel the body, feel the breath, feel the emotions. Maybe emotions are not happening, and that's a feeling, that's where you are. Start to straighten that left leg. Reach the left fingertips forward. Left hand down, right arm to sky. Utthita Trikonasana. We're going to reach those right fingertips to the front of our mat. And then reach the right arm up, back, and to the outer hip. Bending left knee, inhale, come back up to warrior two. And left elbow, right arm reaches, either swivels, scissors, or rainbows, or maybe all three. Extended side angle. Release hands down to frame left foot, stepping back to down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Baby cobra or up dog as you inhale. Exhale back into down dog. And then we're going to round down to our knees. Now yogis have a choice. You can stay in full child's pose, balasana, extended child's pose, bhaktasana, or extended child's pose with wide knees. So find the child's pose that works for your body. Breathe into your child's pose. Witness in your child's pose. And then when you're ready, rise up. Extend the arms out in front, tuck toes, hips up and back. We'll find down dog once again. Pedal the heels a few times. Shift the hips, maybe shimmy side to side. Open and close the jaw, and really take that tail skyward. From here, we're going to come down to our knees, come down to our elbows, clasping the hands. So our elbows are shoulder width apart, which means I dream of genie arm spacing. I dream of genie. I wish I could wish like a genie, right? I tried that so many times as a kid and it just didn't work. Maybe bewitched, twinkled my nose, wiggled my nose too. All right, so we're finding dolphin. Taking those hips nice and high, pedal the heels, and then start to walk the feet in closer. Now, the closeness that you walk is entirely up to you in this moment. My forearms are pressing, and I'm pressing them so that I can lift my tail, opening through my side ribs and through the upper back. Remember when we did that funny little cat-cow sequence with our knees wide? We're opening into that same place here. So maybe it feels fun to try to lift one leg at a time. And just notice that feeling of my leg is above me. Maybe we just take a leg and a knee in. Releasing down, coming down to our knees. Sitting back and releasing back into child's pose. So every time we have a full upside down experience, even though that was one-legged upside down, we want to give our heart and our minds an opportunity. So we're going to give an inversion a try, a true inversion. I recognize that inversions are scary and maybe not right for everybody. So the inversion that upside down is pose that I'm going to offer for everyone is to be a body's distance away from a wall or a chair, either one. Where my hips were is where my elbows go to. My head is down, and I'm just going to walk my feet up my wall till my body is relatively square. All right, so that's an inversion that's safe for all the time. I'm going to do the second one up against the wall again. I think my cats just make more hair in places after I've swept. I think the hair multiplies. All right. So the second option is kind of what we just did, except my forehead or the crown of my head is resting. I'm going to walk my feet in. Maybe I kick one or both legs up. So the wall behind me is in case I need to rest my heels. Now, why am I having you go upside down today? Because it feels scary. So, give your inversions a try. If you want to pause the recording and you want to try from the wall inversion to even lift a leg, that's a fantastic option. All right, so invert for however long you'd like. This is a great time if you have somebody at home who's willing to be an aid or an assistant in your yoga journey, just to keep an eye on your safety. Now, when you're done with your inversion, I'll be here. So play, play, play. When you come back, we'll all rest together in child's pose. So pause if you'd like, play, 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 or if you're done, just stay here. So actually, we're going to sit into child's pose. So if you were inverted for a minute, 30 seconds, you want to stay in child's pose for a minute or 30 seconds. Other options, anything with the chin tucked to the chest. So a bridge pose, even a comfortable forward fold would work. I like child's pose because it's very introspective. Now, when you were in your inversion, whatever version you took, chances are some emotions came up. And because we were focusing on balancing and not tipping over, we just kind of, oh, okay, whatever, it's there, but I'm not tipping over. So from this child's pose place, just revisit what you experienced. Maybe there was a thrill, maybe there was a noticement of excitement. And remember that our mats are a place that we get to feel what we feel without judgment. When you're ready to rise up, gently press yourself up.
We're going to shift the legs off to one side and come to seated with legs extended out in front of us, moving our bumpers up and out of the way. Dandasana, staff pose, reaching tall through the crown of the head. Tuck the chin, so draw the chin lightly in as we reach ourselves tall. Feet or toes are flexed to face. As I inhale, I take my fingertips to the sky, interlacing them, palms reach up. Shoulders sink back and down so that I'm growing space between hip and rib. From Dandasana, fingertips rest or tent next to the hips. I draw the heart forward as I lengthen the crown of the head. Now, we didn't do a ton of forward folding today, so allow your body to tell you, yep, this is enough. With the fascia and the hamstrings and the back of the body very active in our Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold, let yourself breathe. Inhale, length and space. Exhale, let go. Inhale, length and space. And our next exhale, let the fingertips walk forward, rounding the back, tucking the chin. Walking the hands back up. Fingertips behind us. Bend the knees, drawing the feet in. We'll roll ourselves back, coming to line on our backs. From here, tuck the toes, tuck the tail, not the toes. Keep the toes pointed, sorry. Tuck the tail. Start to just squeeze the glutes as we lift. And then exhale, come back down. Inhale a little bit bigger. We'll find a slightly larger bridge. Exhale, come down. This time, lifting all the way up into our bridge. Chest rises toward chin. You can walk arms underneath you if you'd like. You can interlace hands. Press the feet, the shoulders, and the back of the head down to the mat as the heart, the hips, lift skyward. Feel this open heart. Feel the safety on your mat. Release the arms and slowly make your way back, drawing the knees in toward the chest. Guiding the knees in small circles, massaging through the low back. Come to center, circles in the other direction. Drawing to center, extend the right leg up to the sky. Draw the left knee in, and we'll do some circles with the right foot. Other direction. Let the right leg slowly lower down just to a hover, so it's not touching the ground, it's just hovering.
And then inhale, take that right leg up. Draw right knee in, left leg to sky. Let's do some circles with the left ankle. Other direction. And then as we exhale, left leg comes down to hover. So as we move, inhale, both legs lift. As we exhale, left knee draws in, right leg extends out, and my nose comes toward me. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. So as I'm moving with my breath, my nose and knee come toward each other. I'm holding onto the back of my legs, but I'm not yanking hard. There's no yanking involved. If the head begins to fatigue or the neck, release the head back down. Good, inhale, both legs to sky, hands next to legs. Release the head back down. Flex toes to face and just ice skate on the ceiling. Come to center, knees to armpits, soles of feet to sky for happy baby. Coming back to center. Feel free to take any final pose that your body might be asking for. And then bring yourself, when you're ready, into Shavasana. If your body says, I'm good, I'm ready, you just roll right down into Shavasana right now. Allow the palms to face up. Allow the feet to fall into a comfortable V. So I don't know if you can hear, it's a little bit quiet. There are some ocean sounds playing in the background. As we settle into our Shavasana, our pose of stillness of our body, that opposite of what we've just been doing for about 50 minutes of movement, of breath work, of awareness and witnessing, we settle into stillness. We take a pause, almost like we're hitting the reset button on our phones or our computers. Maybe this would be a better example of taking the sleep option on our phones or our computers. And that sleep option where all of the unnecessary programming just kind of halts in the background. Some of the programs that can take a pause are planning for the future, worrying or remembering the past, fretting about tomorrow. We're on this mat, this safety place, so we can let go of all of those responsibilities that don't need us right now. We can even let go of our titles, such as mom, dad, sister, brother, daughter, son, employee, scientist, teacher. And you might notice some gripping feeling as you let go. So if that happens, that's okay. Just notice. And you're able to be just you in this moment, experiencing and witnessing without judgment.
into our true identity, our self, our soul. That exposure can feel raw, vulnerable, a little scary even. And so there might be glimpses of it in your meditative practice, in a post-yoga shavasana. I've even glimpsed it in myself when I'm doing something that is truly joyful or really difficult. And so the goal of today's practice, as we shed all of the judgment and all of the stuffing away of emotions, the goal of us allowing ourselves to witness, to experience, at the heart of it is to return to ourselves. There's a truth within each of us, and it's beautiful. And even if today you just saw a glimpse, or if today that trueness of self shone through, find a bit of gratitude. Returning to that place within, that place of beauty for just one more glimpse. And allow it to shine forth. As you feel ready, slowly begin wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and ankles. Bend your knees and bend your elbows. And keeping the eyes closed, gently roll to your side. Slowly press yourself up to seated. And finding that meditative posture that we began today with. Take the hands so that the pinkies are aligned and the hands are open like a book. If today's yoga practice was one that was connecting for you, an opportunity to connect with self, or a place where you found enlightenment or beauty, write down that experience in this book of your hands. And closing the hands together, bringing them to Anjali Mudra at Heart Center, sealing our practice, sealing your experience. The light He honors the light within you.
Namaste.
Thank you guys so very much for joining today and for understanding that, life is getting a little bit more full in this post-COVID world with kids returning to school and responsibilities. So, as I mentioned, I'll be sending out a newsletter with some links to some surveys. Those surveys, I would really appreciate honesty and, well, not honesty, but I would honestly appreciate if you fill them out so that I can craft our yoga experience together and in-person opportunities so that the most people can attend them. I truly wish for all of us to be able to participate in an experience in person together soon, safely, where not only physically are we safe, but we feel safe from an emotional standpoint. I want to let you also know that I honor each and every one of you. So as I mentioned, my yoga business will be going through a small transition as I move away from the NamaStreams/Hey Marvelous to a Square Up website. I think I'll be stepping back a little bit from only doing virtual and doing some more in-person opportunities, hopefully. Any questions that you guys have, please send them my way. And any suggestions or things that you'd like to hear or see, maybe some series of classes on a subject. I've had a couple of those suggestions. I'm more than happy to honor them if it's within my scope of practice. So thank you guys so much for being you, for being here.